I'm insisting on wearing this thing because, well, it's different. It feels good. But also, I did kind of mess my hair up earlier in the month with all the wonderful Jupiter square my Venus and then Mercury square Venus. I'm not going to try and do it anymore. I just think it's time to STOP. Pardon the messy room a bit there. Wanted to talk about just moving forward. It's 11:24. And I'm going to put this video on the 25th or 26th, and we have the astrology calls for a Mercury retrograde starting on the 25th. I talked about that already, but I've been kind of putting some videos in the background so I can edit them better because I don't want to talk too boring of stuff, which is just my myopic situation, which really, though, it's good to make a breakthrough and let people know. I like to go general. Really, because I am humanity, I doubt that I'm a isolated incident. And thank you to the people hanging in there and expressing some things. I was able to receive very little intimacy. It's been this Neptune opposed my Venus for the last 3 or 4 years that has really done a number on it does a number on one's Venus when you have an opposition or the conjunction. That's what I say, because the squares are twice in a lifetime, I think, twice in the whole zodiacal phase. But the opposition is once, and so is the conjunction. It's the difference between being completely opposite and then on top. So anyway, that thing for my Venus and was very hard. I am excited about replenishing myself. I think that I'll get back a lot that I consider that I have lost, but I didn't really lose that much. Uh, you lose an old self, especially when, if it's love. See, in your life, you are Venus. That's the test. You're going to have a test with your Venus sometime or another. Yeah. So I don't know. You can look at the statistic though, like how often does a Venus oppose uh, Neptune, the outer planets that take a long time to go around the zodiac. Sometimes, it takes 80 years or 120 years for some of them to go all the way around, like 125 years. And so, or 250, like Pluto. And so, you won't always have in your whole entire lifetime a conjunction with your Venus with the outer planet or a opposition. That's, still, it's just there's a chance that it will never happen in your lifetime. And some people are like maybe born that way, or they go through it eventually. And well, thank God for astrology, because all it does is point at, like, well, this kind of season, a scenario that causes a story of which in lifetimes, we've seen it. And it's so interesting how astrology is here to point at that. It's not a mystery to life. There's only like 143 different kinds of storylines that the human being that is captivating enough to write a story about, like, and even make movies about. See, that's what I've always heard, sitting amongst the elders when they talk about it. It's like, well, no, with the movies when they come up, and even books and novels, it's a really good story. Really, it's always about, there's only 143 different scenarios, and a lot of it is including, it kind of loops around and it turns back, and a lot of it's about love, right? Love affairs or what, right? A lot of it's about love affairs, and there's like 143 different scenarios trying to dress that up and make a movie out of it that is more interesting enough to listen to after a while. Yeah. So having said that, may you have at least one of those 143 scenarios unfolding in front of you as a life story, maybe, right? Having said that, really, it's like, isn't it boring here? What did we figure out to do now? Whew. Good God, do you think something amazing is going to happen? You just only hope that something goes on. It's like, what are they going to do next? That's what my grandma kept saying when she's like on her way out. I'm going to visit her at the hospital, and that's when Trump made it presidency, made it to be president. And she was just like, she was like, what? And she would always say too, what are they going to do next? I just want to know what's going to happen next in the movie. My grandma was a Sagittarius, late degree, and I think about her a lot, of course. And these people are just, you have a whole soul group, I guess, and they're rooting for us, right? And the whole idea is like, will you please you take the good with the bad, but narcissists, really talking about them, for them, with them, really, actually. Um, but see, they only take the bad and they miss the good, maybe, and it's like God, because the conditioning and the hard time, always, and that's where I'm like almost in danger, but I think I'm being pulled out by just the universe says, well, don't you want something better? Don't you want something good? Don't you want to do something fun? See, that's the main thing. It's like, well, how do we do this live? How do we do it? Make sure you're having fun. Well, how do we do that? Well, this is what Abraham Hick always says, right? Is that Hicks, that do what feels good, and that's very illusory. See, I don't really agree with her, like her crowd, because they're always going on like the cruise ships, right? The materialistic people, the people that can't seem to have a good time without going on a cruise. I don't know. See, me, I'm a musician, and we're working with the same principles. We say, don't hang on to the bad notes. Loop back around, hit the fucking song. Do you want to play Led Zeppelin? Well, it's kind of easy. It's just some of it's a loop. That's a lot of the rock and roll tunes. I mean, you want to be cool and make it alcoholic, like Mustang Sally. Everybody's like, yay! You'd be surprised. It takes very little to stimulate the audience out there. But really, musically, really, if you're really doing it, though, really, no, you'd be surprised how it takes practice. You can't just imitate a drunk right away on your guitar. It takes like 20, 30 years of just relaxing into it and saying, oh, God, this is easy. Really, there's different styles, right? Um, of rock and rolls and stuff like that. See, but really, music is music, and it's really peculiar. We have yet to open up the truest, you know, use, and how it's a medicine. Yeah, it's a practice. It's a medicine that we need. It's necessary for all of humanity to get musical, at least sometime in their lives. Really, if you have gone through your life without experiencing synchronicity, then too bad, because that's not what we're here for to do. Even the people born with Venus square Saturn, this is the amazing thing about progressions. As you can see, they're not gonna like not know how to cook forever. Eventually, they learn. They don't like work too hard forever. They learn. It's like, no, actually, when you're doing it right, it's easy. Yeah, and everything falls into place because you went with what felt good. What was meant for you is what feels good. And that's really illusory. So we could keep talking about it. It's like not necessarily the cruise ships over there. It could end up in a pretty disastrous situation, whether you get botulism or the whole thing capsizes, or just that you're actually serious about having fun on those things. Wow, I can't imagine one of those people. Okay, fine. You have a lot to go through as far as trash to get through the real thing of life, like a really good experience. I mean, really, you can slow it down. Take a deep breath, deep divers, and create a freaking blissful experience out of your very being right here, right now, whenever you're listening to this. Make sure it's a sanctuary that, it's like, God, I wish you were here right now, whoever, like, you get near them, watch them run away, just from looking at me going like this. I just remind me of myself. No, I'm not a hugger kind of person. Not really. If it's necessary, sure, but not really, right? You want to keep your energy to yourself nowadays. But I knew some people, like this one woman. I used to work for her. I mentioned her once again. Oh, very little, but she's somebody who helped me a lot. Very remarkable. Isabel. Isn't that a great name? Isabel. Woo! Ringing like a bell. I did. I remember when I hugged her, this energy went into my body. I felt it. I was like, whoa, that's remarkable. You could just tell she was on a whole different level. You know, I don't know. So just fortunate people, that they know what to do with their good fortune. They try to help other people, and if they can, they will, and they do. That's true. I don't know how that we were going to buck the system. Why do they say that, buck? Babes, the word buck. Well, it comes from the aggressive side of the animal, of course, right? The bucking. You know, there's the rodeo where of course the bucks are they call the male horse a buck. I forget. Shit. No, there's different names, but now but when we're talking about just in general, sheeps, the sheeps, they're called bucks. You know, see, I try to, I will be refining this material about money in our language and the language and the energy that we are. How do we start to um, just having like something that makes sense for us, really centralize something that at the least, see with this thing that you're watching, have it be something that pays our stupid communications bills. Have you mastered that yet? Well, here it is. If if um if 417 people, see, I think I got 3 new subscribers or something, like 3 of them unsubscribed, and then they subscribed, then some other ones subscribed, and I bet you anything they're hardy individuals, very hardy. See, because that's who I am, and the ones that are daring to get a hold of me and talk to me, well, we're making it through. You're making it to me by just being a really real person. You like entertainment, most likely, though. You like entertainment, but deep entertainment, though. You're not shallow, you know, because I kind of do a natural weeding out every once in a while. I mean, I call my whole Facebook um, platform a smokescreen, even though, no, I use it to, yeah, it's the kind of smokescreen. It's like, if you're interested in this, if you're miserable, not that we haven't noticed how miserable you really are, all of humanity, hello, did you fucking differentiate reality from the mind, you know? And that's what I really did, keep like kind of trying to a ridiculous pace, because then up till, see, it was up until 2020, when it did happen, that they would do a mind boning, and I'm not saying that something horrible hasn't went on, as far as how that people do get sick, and we don't know what it is, and people are dying every day, and see, they just alerted us to, like, guess what, it's time to fear death, and it's happening every day, and you want to look at stuff, you don't want to talk about it though, right? Don't talk about what might be really happening, as far as the hospitals out there, actually, just one end of the industry there. Anyway, so uh, I I did everything that I should have done up at 10 years before, to just let people know that, no, you guys better get located of your reality, because it's going to get serious, where people are going to end up with a mental illness that they just don't know the difference. That's the whole problem. And see, and with that, it just, people have gone mad, and so, but how do you become like, not only like free of all of the suffering that can happen when it's like, you know, you need to disconnect from it. It's kind of, you wonder why, but something's trying to make you healthier, and it doesn't feel good, and you keep going back and forth. That causes like mental illness, when you're just living in complete confusion all the time, and you can't just level out and say and ask a question and have it answered fucking correctly, because really that question is actually you tuning in on something exact, and you're like, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? That's what I love about, if anything I love about Christmas, is all Christmas caroling. Where my classrooms go off the subject matter, but we're talking about resonation here, and we're just trying to create it. When we do open our mouths and do anything here together, yeah, that mystery, you know, come on, do you, a star shining in the night, la di da. I don't even know the words. I really don't. But I love the melody. I don't even know the melody, right? It's just like, but you know, I can and I will and I could. It's important to have your own melody, but if you're a musician, it's important to sound exactly like some other organization that everybody's like, hey, they won't hear you playing music until you hit the mainstream tune, and just play it exactly like Led Zeppelin, and they're like, oh man, you know how to play. They won't mention that you know how to play after you play 44 of your original songs, one instrument on each limb, live, until you just go start hitting Led Zeppelin riff. They'll go, oh yeah, wow, you really know how to play music. That sounded great. They'll give you a compliment after you do that. Yeah. It's just that they don't know how to hear reality. You know, real life musicians and mystics, they're not playing something that you're ready to hear. As far as just the now, what I mean is, are you ready for real live music? It's like listening to water. Who gets tired of listening to water or the rustling leaves? I want to recreate it in my room. I understand people who want to put a waterfall in their room because it makes the dog barking and the woman screaming. If you live in a city, sorry. Just it blends right in. Sorry, because well, you know, the saying is really is the water will say whatever you think. It's kind of interesting if you've ever sat by a waterfall and taken off your clothes, and now you got really paranoid. It's not the same. The water was not saying that here comes the Girl Scout crew because you just took your clothes off, or here comes the ranger, or yeah, there's somebody just cruising. Did you hear their things jiggling around? Did you hear them talking? The water will like make you think it's all happening. It's like, no, actually, no, bullshit. I got this, baby. I got it. Anyway, thanks for listening to that. And I snorted it. It's 16 minutes. Sometimes we'll do a snort. Real blonde hair, by the way. And thank you for bearing through some of the time here where I'm very unsure of myself. I'm doing reinvention. And the main thing is the 5D. Get in 5D and be a 5D figure. And I am. I'm going to do it. See, that means that getting back to the 417 or 18 people, babes, you have to do this. I mean, do you have that many followers and friends? See, I would do this for us. Let's try it. Would that be weird to try this? God, how can we work it? See, to make it pay off for you, see, I don't know about you, but I have how many friends that, here I go again with this crap. I don't like it. I don't like it. And one day I'll shut up. One day I'll shut up. But no, I think it's worth trying to turn this into a social monetary feed system to, at the very least, pay for our communications bills. It's pretty much a war zone anyway. You know, it's going so slow. The actual real life enlightenment of mankind, the way that evolution is supposed to be going on here. You know, when you talk about this kind of stuff, like the evolution of human consciousness, what do you mean? Oh my God, isn't that right now? It's like, can you notice that we're kind of in the dark ages? Why? Well, it's about vibrational frequency, and I hate to point at it again and bum all of you people, you materialists out, but I get it though, I get it. See, you can be on the higher vibrational frequency and still be monetary, but a lot of the population is not like that. And if they are, they're doing a heavy duty materialistic thing, which is to, you know, what else do you do with money but you go out and buy a bunch of junk? You know, like plastic chrome plated, it's made to look like chrome. It's not even chrome plated. Plastic people that, you know, it's like, are you kidding me? You spent that much money on that crap when really you people should be making that yourself, whatever it was, whatever it is. You need to start working with your hands better and satisfying yourself with things that money can never buy that. You need an experience of doing something with your hand that is so satisfying that money just does not buy that. There's where I get to the phenomena of how many expensive sailboats could be parked inside the harbor, but not a single one of them is being sailed. Because, well, you know, money, it's just the thing to do is to buy your yacht. But they don't know anything of the art of sailing. It's a skill to sail and really get the benefits of owning a darn ship like that. But no, on there you have this CEO guy that's probably, you know, most likely money that can buy only just that and some good wine, maybe cheap wine, who knows, because after a while, yeah, it could be a temporary thing. You know, it's a temporal thing where if they're doing stocks and bonds or something, I don't know. It's just where's your money hooked up in? Because it could collapse anytime. When do you people really enjoy life from having found a skill and then produced, not just for you? See, uh, Dave, I hate to knock it to you here. It's tough on the narcissists out there, but you are to share eventually. You give what you have found. That's the whole, what Plato said is that no, the whole art of living, the reason why you're living is as soon as you find the reason why you're living, you give it away. Yeah. And what is it? What do you really? Well, oh, sorry, minus the monetary system over there. That's the runaway civilization that says, fuck it, we don't know how to do anything. And I think, well, it's like, well, something says now, yeah, we realize that this is happening, so depopulation. There's where you have wars. Don't look at me. Wars and money is like together. They say, God, they have so much money just for wars. Yeah, they're depopulating right there, ladies and gentlemen. And it's pretty much now, think of this, women, ladies. There's like a combine of people being just gobbled up by that frickin' war system out there. I mean, how many people have been hit by the war machine just today? And they've just been, this is the combine, gobbling them up. Well, now, but you have women maybe over there. See, are they pumping them out at the same rate? Just basically kind of saying, oops. A lot of them, I would say. I really do. I hate to bag on you guys too. God, I knew I didn't like her. Unsubscribe. It's like, no, at least have conscious sex. You have a freaking narcissist approaching you, and you want to like create a human being out of that. First, you have a profound responsibility. By the way, it doesn't even start. You didn't create a whole. You didn't just create a whole human being by just pumping out flesh. You better hope that you guys are maintaining a humane example. You know, that's what I've been talking about for the past, and it's like, God, who wants to talk about that? I hope I'm done with it. It came on heavy with the eclipse that was ruled by Aries, Mars, and do we have a Mars thing in Aries going on that's significant? Yeah, if we talk about the pressure cooker of the Mars opposed Pluto that is very slow, but it's 6 degrees away, but it's still a square. In fact, Pluto is kind of like, come to me, my darling. And Mars is like, but I am serious. And fucking Pluto is like, I am serious too. And they actually love each other because they're the same. Pluto used to rule Scorpio. And they're the same vibe. Pluto and Scorpio are the same, so that we can get these looks in our face and just like singe your freaking It's like Halloween. No, it's actually here. Take the mask off. We are actually. This is real life. You know, here. Let's churn the soil. We're now in ending of the Scorpio season, but no, it's still there with that Mars Pluto thing. That's like, don't mind the feeling. See, when we get into Thanksgiving, babes, and things start really showing up, like the mechanicals of things, the mechanics of communications breakdown might happen, babes, and then people can't afford to fix stuff. That's a fucking a deathly bummer. On top of what, are you grateful and trying to be thankful of something? I mean, what are you trying to go just be all you can be for somebody? You know, it's just the only time you can get out. And but everything, did you forget to fix it? You know, and if you did, you're fucked. And just, I would say, hunker down, man. Would you stop doing that, man, and try and figure out something else to do eventually? We have 20 years here, by the way. Aquarius is all for it. I mean, humanity is all for it. The real brunt of it. I mean, who's not doing Mad Max already? I kind of am. When I'm saying, nope, I just have a feeling I have to cut down like 3 trees so I can see them up. And if I want to live here tomorrow, like next winter, I just have to cut these trees down. I don't know. I have this feeling because people are going to start falling apart around me, and I have the opportunity to do that. Even though I'm talking about something totally different, I probably could sell out and go to fucking Africa and buy land there. See, but whatever you do, buy land. If you're a landowner, isn't it weird? You have to land somewhere else. You better. Who scales down into uh, sneaker land? You know, like eating your sneakers and wearing your sneakers. And I like sneakers, by the way. I don't mind it. But it really, I want to live. I want what's for me. So open it up. You know, all of this communication. I'm always going. You're going to hear me say that, and you should say that too. I will get what's meant for me. I want what I have now, which is meant for me, and I want what's going to happen later, which is meant for me. When I let go what I have now, that I maybe I'll think that I don't want it after a while, and a lot of it can feel that way. And for us Aries people, yes, I'm rooting for you. Just it's the brunt of humanity who is saying it's time to change, and I'm excited about what I can see because we can see it. We can. We see Pluto going into Aquarius, and it says now you have to rearrange your people for the for the Aries people, particularly the rising signs. Oh, it's like 100%. You'll gain. Now, it's talking about, is it the same video? The kind of people that you will accumulate, really, it depends on if you're completely frank and honest. And Aries, you have this down. You know, you are frank and honest to a fault. Kind of, you're doing that really to humor people because you're a heavy duty person. Getting back to that Mars ruled individual where it's interacting with Pluto in the sky right now, the opposition, those are two very just really hardy and confident and heavy duty individuals that are now, they've grabbed onto each other. They're like, yay! And they're doing this spin around. And I'm telling you, have never seen more like water disasters while Mars was in Cancer going forward, square to Pluto, just saying, have you noticed that that's the war machine now, is just to gush everybody out? And it could have been well planned for just 100 years prior. There's a way you can see that has happened. But so now we're going to see these oppositions that are going to happen continually because Mars has gone backwards. So it's like tis the season for this Mars thing and this pressure cooker where, well, Pluto's going to push off into Aquarius, which it already has. Hallelujah. Thank God. Woo! Party down and feel sorry for the fixed signs, particularly the Taurus people. They would rather you inform them about the Holocaust at the rate of toilet paper, the Charmin type. Just keep it 3-ply. Don't even raise your voice or anything. Just let them know. Do you see that there's a disaster coming, especially financially? Oh, forget that. We've got to get right back into our bodies. Do you have the cure to your body being all fucked up right now? I mean, if you haven't noticed, see, the fixed signs are the ones who are apt to not change until the last minute. And that last minute change could mean that they get sick or something, and something falls, it goes, and it's like, ah! And their nervous system busts apart. I know because I'm a freaking Aquarius moon, and I've had such thing go on with my aspects. Uranus on my moon, and then, well, the past 3 years has been crazy astrology on my moon. And that's where you get like this really dry, really hilarious humor that is like, is this funny or is it a nightmare? And it's like, no, this is an Aquarius moon that's like trying to get through this shit. And will we get through it? See, the cure for me, and I don't know, it's just going to be tough when Pluto does go over my moon. But we can look at that astrology, which is that's 12 years from now. And it's like, don't worry about that. Hopefully that you've had an adventure between now and then. You see, don't dwell on the future and don't worry about the past too much, but get the best out of it and run in the now. And I didn't just say that big changes aren't on the way because we keep living. We don't see in the future, or we don't learn from the past. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, I get visions and I see that God replaces things for me and says, no, this is what you're going to have next. It's like, oh, really? Yeah, no, I could see that. I just get visions. I don't know if you guys do or not, but it's important to do that. We still have, with Pluto, see, with the Mars activity going back and forth, it's already happened that we've had these extraordinary stuff going on with Neptune. Neptune is a big factor in our astrology over the next, well, yeah, 6 months, because by the time it's in April, Neptune will be in Aries, and that's the first licks of such a different vibe than I don't see it as a very good thing because those are two malefic unions. Like say with the Neptune is very very tedious to handle, but now it's in a Mars ruled sign. This is like going to be more like aggressive spiritually. It's a good way to say it. Um, the water, it's going to be like hard water, and we don't want that. We want an aggressive look into the water and then have it be purified, right? Don't you want it to be that we just notice that there's some substances here that we need to like emulate and even honor as a god? And once we do that, if we look into it in so many ways that we can just heal ourselves. And yeah, water is something that will show us in patterning, you know, that Dr. Emoto shows us the patterning of certain intentions inside of water. If you're shouting love, or what, really just giving, radiating love towards it, the intention behind it with the words is what creates a freeze frame in the ice, and even with the the pH balance inside of the water. Um, the intention behind it, you can put the word love on it, and it does something else. But I could swear that it's the people in the laboratory that creates uh, with intention. They just say, no, that's the one that has love, and that's the one that has hate, and they proved it, and that's something that, see, I so don't wait for me to get better on you. Practice it on me. Shed love onto me. That's what I love about, well, I was talking about my friends, really, the real ones, a lot of them, Venus and Leo. The Venus and Leo people. Hi, Kimcast. I am so honored that I would attract a Venus and Leo. It's like, God, these people are so loving. Once they turn their attention to you and they go, oh my God, I love you. You know, they kind of let you know that that technology is real. They'll give it a little fire behind it, and you feel this warmth, and you're like, oh man, thank you so much. Really, actually, that they can take you to the stage, right? Because it's a Leo. Venus, they fan you. They fan you. They say, God, you've done so much for me, and you're doing everything. Wow, and it's the color orange. It's just, you can go on and on about. There's nothing that surpasses the Venus and Leo love. You want that in your life, and you hang on to it. You don't take it for granted, because once if they ever do turn that off of you, you have hurt them enough, and to do that, you're going to experience the cold. It's going to be worse than ever because that's the way it is for a lot of the fire signs. Us fire signs. I'm a fire sign. So anyway, thanks for listening to this. Was trying to stay on some kind of a terrain of entertainment here that would be beneficial for people. Getting very little, but I'm seeing, but really, love is all I need, really, and because I have a lot to offer. And it's like, can I trust this? Because when you feed into love, it feeds you back, right? Right. Even though it's hard to fathom what I just said right now, I don't know. But no, there is this thing that we need to pull into and start using, which is our technology as human beings, and love is the highest of highs. Yes, it is. And we need to just start taking a chance with each other. And see, there's where, there's that thing where it says, in God we trust, and I hate to go there. I'm not. If you look at the last 2,000 videos I put up, only like 45 of them are right now just saying, money, money, and trying to persuade you but really what I'm saying is, why not make this a social system that really works for all of us, that is based in like appreciation, instead of like this, man, it's so weird how that you can work for some people that never in a million years will they invite you to their house, or can you invite them to your house? Did I say that right? What I mean, because maybe you don't make as much as money than them, and right, it's a weird thing, because you can look around. I don't know why I'm looking at that, but it's like, I don't want to be that way. I know how to harmonize with Mother Nature. If a tree starts growing up out of my living room, I'm fine with it. Other people, when they come over, they're like, and you let the nest in too, and I'm like, what? My chickens they actually clean the window seals of the fly carcasses. Everybody gets a fly carcass in the windshield. I just happen to windowsill. I just happen to have chickens that clean it up. I don't have. Same thing with some things. My animals were. Okay, bye, Shauna. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Just a little time I spend with you, I guess. And it's too bad we can't really spend time with. It turns out that you spend time with more time with the people that you work with, who can care less about you, right? Sometimes, really, if you work in a factory, that's the way it is. You'll spend 8 to 12 hours there mowing their lawn, and even it's like, well, are you guys here or not? It's like, no, we just pretend like we're here. You're our gardener. It says that somebody's here when nobody's really able to be anywhere. I've taken care of places like that where they just fly from France to here every once in a while, and they're never there, but it looks like they're there because I keep it really nice. Right, gardening and pruning, and I love their yard, and they come back and they complain about like if it's wintertime, they don't know what season it is, and they complain to me about the fact that all of the leaves have withered and they're falling. I'm like, babes, it's fall. It's what happens, I didn't kill it, I promise you. What the fuck is this? The leaves are fucking dead. It looks like they're babes. You're from France, and first of all, and what season is there, and are you even paying attention to the season? Some of them, they don't know what direction the sun rises. I mean, they don't know that it actually rises in the same direction all the time. Now, I have to look at this. You're going to do it with me? Hi, friend, how are you? It's like we're friends now. I'm going to talk to you. I want to ask Siri, in which direction does the sun rise? Is there a standard? I happen to think, because a gaslighter, I talked to the other day, he says, well, it just depends on where you are on the planet. I'm like, maybe. But if you're near the equator, I'm pretty sure it's a standard that the sun always rises in the east and it sinks slowly in the west. I really do, really do. I happen to think that, like, say, if you're in Alaska where it stays like at 12 noon for fucking for 6 months or something, that eventually when it does its rise and fall, I think that it rises from the east and falls in the west. I don't know. Maybe that's a whole different thing. And I do think it's a whole different thing. So I don't know everything. Thanks for listening to this. And I said that several thousand times, and I'm glad to be feeling and looking better anyway. I look better when I'm feeling good, and I feel like that I have my own vibration that I can think ahead and take control and think, well, I'm ready. First of all, I'm ready. Um, I've always been ready. It's just I had to get through a lot of demons, right? You get through a lot of, literally, really, you have to become stronger and stronger here, because if you're going to make the next step happen for you in your life, to where, you just keep your vision. There's a vision there that will appear, and it's not necessarily you, and you don't know how you're going to get there, but there it is. There could be many, really. I'll keep it open that there could be many. Just if you are vibrationally aligned by way of, now, physicality is very important. We have to take care of our body to be able to just start fucking hoofing it, right? Maybe? I don't know. I'm actually there. I should have ended this video a long time ago. That I want to be, I'm a wannabe. No, I'm actually there where I have everything I need. It's just a matter of a changeover. If we're talking about my hoofs, it's good to take care of your body. Keep taking care of your body. You are now ready to use that thing because you have taken care of your body. Now is the time to really just max it out. I think, that's why I'm ready to go play tennis. Anybody up for a game of tennis?